So to those that are staying at home all the time, I got a message for you. Okay, the world that we live in nowadays, it's making it easier for people to be isolated. I remember I used to watch this YouTuber. He was a really rich guy, and one of the things he bragged about was that he was so rich that he didn't need to get out of his house. He was so rich that he ordered his food, he paid someone to order his clothes, everything was paid for. And he talked about it like he was bragging, but then I realized that is the worst existence you can ever have. That is the worst existence, and this is why. Isolation tends to create an illusion of safety, an illusion of comfort, right? And we've all done that when we feel our worst. But the problem is that isolation actually exposes you to more danger than it does fix. It makes you an easy target. Why? People who are isolated are those who are prone to become cult members, are those who are prone to follow fads that eventually will corrode them from within, are those who literally join cult isolation. Those people who are isolated are those who join gangs, are those who develop belief system that is devoid from reality to the point that it can become dangerous for people. Isolation is who that Elliot Scott, I think that guy that shot people in Sherman, that guy, he was isolated. Every person who commits mass, right? Those people were isolated, completely isolated. So isolation has this illusion, but the problem is this: there are moments when you need to be isolated. There are moments. Let me tell you one. One, isolation helps to retreat, right? You recover. You isolate yourself from society to gain a new perspective. For example, I go to meditation retreats, right? I go to 10-day meditation retreats, 5 days, 3 days. In those moments, I choose to isolate myself. I'll isolate myself when it comes to creating art. I'll isolate myself to reassess myself. In fact, isolation is good. For example, Malcolm X, through isolation and becoming a prisoner, he developed a new, he not developed, he became Muslim, developed a set of value system that he held on for the rest of his short life, right? Isolation is used to fix your problems, right? But the problem is that a lot of people use isolation as an instinct, as a knee-jerk reaction to feeling threatened, to danger. Rather than exposing themselves to danger, they run away from it and they feel the illusion of safety. And this is the problem. Isolation offers no protection, zero protection. In fact, you just expose yourself to more danger. It's like when you put a bunch of people into a fortress, right? You build a castle, you build a fortress. And in that fortress, nothing can enter. They're impregnable. But then again, this is the problem. Since everyone knows where you are, now you're an easy target. And then above all, because you guys are isolated, very easy for disease to spread. Before humans became domesticated by farming and living in houses, we were hunter-gatherers. So we moved around a lot. And because of that, there was more distance between tribes and more distance between me and you. But as soon as we became domesticated, we were hanging around people. We created towns. But then that's when plague started. That's when diseases started. You might think that isolation tends to remove diseases. It actually promotes it because you guys are around each other. There's no space, right? But then not only physical diseases happen, mental diseases, where you start to think, and this is how cults start. This is how you have fringe movements. People who are isolated will literally divorce themselves from reality. In fact, this is a danger of going to meditation retreats, is that the meditation retreats tend to create an isolation. This is a problem, is that when you get out of those retreats, just like people who are isolated for too long, who don't have friends, who don't work on having friends, you tend to be awkward around people, right? That's what tends to happen. Like little, and above all, people can sense the awkwardness because when you isolate yourself long enough, you're awkward. You're like fucking Tarzan. Oh, girl. Like you develop Tarzan syndrome, right? Right? So the danger is when you feel threatened, you isolate yourself. When you feel the need to isolate yourself, unfortunately, you have to look inside of yourself, muster up the courage, and go in the complete opposite direction. Let me give you an example, right? I live in Mexico City, right? And I was a little isolated for a while. Okay, and it was a product of the pandemic also, right? But a product because I was in a new place and it was awkward making friends. But then I realized I need to get out of that. And I said to myself, what do I like to do? I like to draw and meditate. So then I went around posting signs that says meditate with us or draw with us. I started posting ads, right? And people started going to the group. But then when it was time to attend the group, to have the meeting, I felt scared. I felt resistance. I felt I wanted to cancel those meetings. But one of the things I learned is that when you're used to being isolated, you're gonna face a lot of physical, mental, and emotional resistance to get out of that spot. You're gonna face resistance. It's like a baby not trying to come out the womb. You're gonna fucking cry when that doctor pulls you out, right? You're gonna cry. So every time I did those events, I felt scared, man. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to cancel it, and I said to myself, man, I don't want to do this shit, man. But you know what? I did it. I would feel the desire to cancel it. I wouldn't cancel it. I would go. And now I have a group of people where we have drawing events in my apartment. I have meditation events at a park. And everyone is like getting to know each other. And above all, the goal of those meditation and drawing groups is to do what? To bring people together. Because I know there's a need. People feel lonely, but they're just so afraid to get out of that loneliness, right? And so that's what I did. And now me doing events, I don't feel scared. I still feel kind of scared when I do the drawing events, right? Sometimes, like the figure drawing, but all the other ones, I don't feel scared no more. And that fear that I have of the drawing events will go away after like 2 or 3 more times. It'll go away. But that's what you got to do. And like, even as a guy, a lot of guys want to get women. A lot of guys want to be that dude, but a lot of guys just don't want to do this. I tell guys, women like leaders. You could be the ugliest motherfucker in the world, but if you know where you're going, some women are gonna bang you because you're a leader, right? And that's what tends to happen. And so these groups, for me at least, it's more of a social thing, right? I'm getting around people, touching grass, seeing people. And what people have to understand is that, for example, there's a lot of drawing groups that are online. I don't want to do that. And everyone wants me to do it online. I'm like, no, it has to be in person. I am not all of the, like, you have to overcome this resistance. And people say, how do I make friends? You know what's funny? It's not about making friends. And by the way, if you guys want to learn how to do what I do, like in terms of socializing, making friends this way, book a call with me. Book a one-on-one call with me. And in that one-on-one call, I will literally give you the strategies that I use to build up a social circle and become more social. And and put yourself in a position where people come to you, where you're the one in the position of leadership. So if you ever want to do this and need someone to guide you, literally, I did it myself. So if you want to do that, click on the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one. There I have 5-minute sessions, 15-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions, 1-hour sessions, 45-minute sessions. And there you'll be able to book a call with me tomorrow, today, people. Okay? So click on the description down below or else you're going to be lonely forever. I'm kidding. Right? So yeah, I made those groups and now it just feel like, honestly, when I do these events, I just feel like I'm at least touching grass. And this is the thing, is that when you don't do this, when you keep being, it has a momentum. If you're alone a lot, you're gonna want to be more alone, but also that you're gonna be alone and also feel the desire to escape, but the anxiety and the fear is so great that you can't get out of that spiral, that spinning spiral. All right, guys, we're going to have a brief intermission so that I could tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my folk dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club videos that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra,
You guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.